인류 역사상 최대의 기술혁명으로 불리는 4차 산업혁명이 빠르게 진행 중입니다. 거기에 팬데믹이라는 위기를 맞아 우리는 어떻게 살아야 하는가에 대한 명확한 답을 찾지 못한 채 대전환의 길목에서 헤매고 있습니다. 지나온 경험과 예측이 무력해지는 대전환의 시대. 위기를 넘어 더 나은 미래로 나가기 위해 우리는 혁신을 이야기합니다. 혁신은 지금까지 알고 있었던 당연한 것들을 깨고 새로운 틀을 만들어내는 것을 말하죠. 세계 최대의 이커머스 업체 아마존, OTT의 왕좌에 오른 넷플릭스, 그리고 움직이는 모든 것이 화제가 되는 일론 머스크의 테슬라까지 사업에 새로운 판을 짜고 있는 세계 정상의 브랜드들. 만약 그들의 생각을 읽을 수 있다면 살아남기 위한 혁신의 길을 찾을 수 있지 않을까요? 우선 일론 머스크에 대한 이야기부터 시작을 하겠습니다. 여러분들이 잘 아시는 것처럼 일론 머스크는 테슬라의 CEO죠. 인간의 화성 이주를 목표로 하는 민간 우주기업 스페이스X를 만들었고요. AI가 인간보다 똑똑해질 때를 대비해서 인간의 뇌에 디지털 칩을 이식해서 인간을 더 똑똑하게 만드는 것을 목표로 하는 회사 뉴럴링크를 설립하기도 했습니다. 솔라시티라는 태양광 발전 사업도 진행 중이고 진공 튜브 속을 달리는 열차 하이퍼루프에 대한 아이디어를 제시하기도 했습니다. 그런데 일론 머스크에 대해서 가장 놀라운 것은 그가 무엇을 하고 있는지가 아니라 그가 사업을 하는 방식인데요. 지금까지 일론 머스크가 걸어온 길을 보면 한 가지 일관된 점을 발견할 수가 있습니다. 바로 기존의 규칙이나 관습, 상식에 전혀 얽매이지 않는다는 점입니다. 한마디로 일론 머스크는 규칙 파괴자라고 볼 수가 있죠. 10년 전 기존 자동차 제조사들이 공학적 관점에서 작고 가벼운 전기차를 만들 때 일론 머스크는 전기 자동차의 비싼 가격에 어울리는 크고 우아한 전기차를 만들어서 크게 성공을 시켰습니다. 미국 자동차 제조사들 가운데 최초로 딜러사를 끼지 않고 온라인으로 직접 차를 판매했고요. 또 다른 자동차 회사들과 다르게 TV 광고는 전혀 하지 않았습니다. 대신 본인이 SNS를 적극적으로 활용을 합니다. SNS를 통해서 공매도 헤지펀드를 공개적으로 비판하기도 했고요. 최근에는 가상화폐 시장에도 적극적으로 개입하는 모습을 보이고 있습니다. 한마디로 기존의 규칙을 철저히 무시하고 파괴하는, 즉 규칙 파괴자의 모습을 보이고 있는 것이죠. 이런 일론 머스크의 특성이 그가 보이는 혁신성과 창의력의 가장 중요한 원천이 아닐까 생각을 해보게 됩니다. 교통체증 때문에 미치겠다. 막히는 LA 도로에 짜증이 난 일론 머스크는 땅굴을 파고 튜브처럼 생긴 진공관을 만들어서 차나 열차가 총알처럼 날아가는 것을 생각해냈습니다. 그리고 불과 10여 년 만에 그는 몽상 같던 일을 현실 속으로 끌어내고 있습니다. 전형적인 퍼스트 무버라고 할 수 있는 일론 머스크의 스페이스X, 테슬라, 그리고 하이퍼루프를 실현하는 기업 HTT, 이 세 회사에는 공통점이 있습니다. 바로 기존의 산업에서 틈새를 찾아내 공략했다는 것이죠. 기술을 통해 상상을 현실로 만드는 사람들은 2021년 현재 인류가 맞이하고 있는 대전환의 변곡점을 어떻게 해석하고 있을까요? 한계가 없는 인간의 꿈과 능력, 황폐한 사막의 나라 두바이에 가면 사람의 능력은 무한하다는 것이 저절로 느껴진다고 하는데요. 바로 이곳에서 또 하나의 상상이 현실로 실현되고 있습니다. 앞서 말씀드린 일론 머스크의 아이디어로 시작돼 시속 1220km로 달리는 차세대 이동수단 하이퍼루프 선도기업 HTT의 CEO 안드레스 드 리온을 만나봅니다. Thank you, Mr. De Leon, for joining us today. It is a great honor to have you. I'm Kyu Kim, a professor of marketing at Yonsei University. I was actually a professor at USC, and I realized that your company is located in Playa Vista. Is that right?
Yes, that's all right. Thank you.
I lived in Marina del Rey from 2010 to 2015. So your company was actually my neighborhood.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Great area
Yeah,
to live.
I really love Playa Vista, but you are now in Dubai, right?
Yes, I'm in Dubai right now.
Okay, so can you tell us the current status of the Hyperloop project in Dubai?
Well, actually, we have a project in Abu Dhabi, more than in Dubai. It's in the border between Abu Dhabi and Dubai, but it's in the Abu Dhabi Emirate. Our idea, after we finalize a feasibility study for the connection between Abu Dhabi and Al Ain, we are creating a commercial prototype in the area of Al Qadir, that is just very close to the Expo and in the Abu Dhabi border. The actual status is that we finalized the concept design and the concept engineering, and we are right now in the phase of organizing the funding, to go to the next phases. That basically will be detailed engineering, and after that, starting the commercial prototype. Commercial prototype should be like, we'll need like 2 years to build it, and in 2 years, we could be moving people, in Abu Dhabi or in another area of the world, depending on the circumstances.
Okay, I see. So for audiences who are not familiar with the Hyperloop technology, can you explain what it is and how it works?
Yeah, Hyperloop technology, basically imagine a train, but instead of a train, a capsule, or let's say a flight without planes. We put it in a closed environment, so a completely closed environment, created with a tube that goes, and we do a low pressure environment. So it's not a fully vacuum, a low pressure environment. And then this capsule is propelled by a linear motor and has levitation that, in our case, we have a proprietary passive magnetic levitation technology that allows us to move the capsule with in a very efficient way and with very low consumption of energy.
Oh, I see. So it's a really low pressure
Yeah, it's a low pressure environment created,
okay.
it's a very safe environment because at the end it's like having an airplane by working in the ground, and that's how it works.
And you call it capsule, not a train. Or can I
Yeah,
say
it's
call
a
it
capsule.
Train? Capsule, okay.
It's a capsule that could move between 28 and 50 people. We could put a capsule in the train, in the tube every 60 seconds, every 40, 60 seconds. So we have a big output, and the possibility to move a lot of people in an hour.
I see. I saw the image of the Hyperloop station you are working on, and it looks really spectacular and very futuristic. So when Hyperloop becomes real, I really hope it does very soon, what would be like the everyday lives of normal people? What changes should we expect in our life?
Well, I think that Hyperloop, first of all, we have been working from the beginning to create, from the point of view of the passenger, a very seamless experience, frictionless experience. Our idea is that you could travel from point A to point B, from your house to your final destination, with a very seamless experience, and basically with the concept that we call it the naked passenger. No, you don't need to carry anything, even the phone, to be able to do this. What we are trying is to improve drastically the passenger experience. I think that in the last decades, we have been traveling because we have to travel, but nobody enjoys. Nobody has a pleasant experience. No. In addition to that, of course, Hyperloop reduced drastically, the sensation of the distance, no? Because at the end of the day, our life can change drastically. We could live 300 kilometers away from the city center and go to work every day and come back home. So we could have a house in a more affordable and nice environment, and outside the big conglomerates of the cities. We could think about going, living in one city and going to other city 600 kilometers away, just to take dinner and come back, in the day. So, really, we are redefining the concept of distance.
I see. That sounds really cool. And I guess Hyperloop not only changes the lives of normal people like me, but also industry landscape in general. I'm curious to hear what changes Hyperloop will bring to the industry.
Well, Hyperloop definitely has a huge opportunity, in the area that we call freight or cargo, to change also the way that companies work today. We could imagine moving, for instance, goods from China to Europe in hours, instead of weeks. So basically, we could be a huge opportunity in an efficient way, not like an airplane that right now is very expensive, and also from the point of view of environmentally create a lot of carbon footprint, So we could change drastically the way that companies organize their supply chain, and their added value. So basically, we could basically almost work with no inventories. Really, this famous philosophy of the just in time can be accelerated drastically, because on the iPad. Today we have goods in the oceans, for weeks, and that could disappear. So I think that Hyperloop is a great opportunity, but it's also a great opportunity for all these new e-commerce and all these new opportunities that we have, to bring goods to the people faster. And because it's a very efficient and a small infrastructure, we could have the stations much closer to the city centers to avoid all these trucks moving around the cities.
I see. And the material used for the Hyperloop system or the capsule is stronger than steel but much lighter. And you named it after the fictional metal in Marvel Comics. Let me say it correctly. The vibranium, right? It's a really interesting naming. So any particular reason that you name it as vibranium?
Well, vibranium is the strongest material in the earth, no? At least in the comic, okay? So we found it funny, to name it like that, no? Vibranium at the end, for us, is a pattern that is about two layers of composite, with sensors integrated. This gives you a very light and very resistant material. So we call it vibranium because we found that there was that opportunity there, and we thought that was funny to write the history of of the vibranium comic, of the comics, and and that was just the main reason.
I see. I really have to get used to saying vibranium, like a silver and gold, vibranium. Okay. When I first heard the idea of the Hyperloop, I honestly assumed that it may come in a very distant future. But you are actually making it happen right now. So what made you think the Hyperloop system is doable? What drove you to jump on this project?
Well, I've been in this project working for more than 6 years. And I analyzed, before jumping in the project, I analyzed a previous study that was done by our company, with all the help of all our crowds around the world. We have the biggest crowdsourcing platform in the world. And when I analyzed it, I really thought, based on my industrial experience and based also in my construction experience before, that it was really feasible. Okay, there was nothing there that prevent us from being successful. It's true that was not an easy project to do. It's true that there is a lot of effort of a lot of people around the world, that is working on this, a lot of contributors, a lot of employees, a lot of companies that are collaborating with us. But certainly from a technological point of view, the technology was there. It was just to put it together, to adapt it, and to try to make it better. And of course, our vision on the Hyperloop is we don't need to arrive to the final version of the Hyperloop first. We have this incremental prototyping idea, and incremental design. We will start with our generation 1, and I'm sure that we will improve, the Hyperloop later. But from the beginning, we have designed the Hyperloop being sure, that the Hyperloop could arrive to the 1,200 kilometers per hour, that we could have a headway, between capsules of 40 seconds. So, it's, as you say, it's feasible and it's happening right now.
Okay, I see. And what I'm doing is designing and realizing the future, and it's really fascinating. So what is your source of inspiration and imagination? Can you share your secret, if you have, with the audiences here?
Well, first of all, I think that my secret is just listening a lot to our people. No, I'm not the one designing the Hyperloop. We are a company designing the Hyperloop. You know, we have a lot of people, you know, that is working on this, and they are, you know, explaining and analyzing every area, and you know, and all of that. So my role at the end as CEO of the company is just putting all these ideas together, you know, and understanding what they want, arguing with them, making the bills advocates sometimes, and things like that. So, you know, I'm not the brain behind the Hyperloop. I'm just the person that is putting all these amazing minds together, you know, and amazing brains together, you know, to make it. So, you know, that's how it is, you know, and that's how our company works. We have a company that works down to top, not top to down. And, you know, and we listen our people, we try to give them the confidence and also the environment to make them successful in all the job that they are doing. And that's basically the job of a good CEO.
I see. It looks like being humble is also very important.
Well, it's not being humble.
I mean,
It's
from-
real. Believe me, that's the case. I'm surrounded by people that is much more smarter
Right.
and brilliant than myself. So you know, that's how it is.
Okay, I see. All right, and also I heard you ran a variety of businesses in the past, and I guess you have encountered many unexpected obstacles and also the hurdles in your journey. And do you have your own way of dealing with the obstacles and journey?
Well, look, there is a word that I really like, and that word is resilience. You know, I think that to be successful in life, you have to be resilient. I heard a lot about, no, you need to be happy, you need to do what you want, what you need to be is really proud of the job that you are doing and being resilient. You will find along the way a lot of problems, a lot of obstacles, a lot of days that is really tough to continue. Imagine a project like this, you know, sometimes you feel that, you know, you are like arriving there and then you need to, it's like a travel in the middle of the desert, no? I read one day an article that they were saying that the time of the unicorns in America has finalized and now is the time of the camels, you know? I like to consider myself and my team a camel, no? We are going through this desert and we are working every day, working hard, you know, being resilient and you know, making it and doing it understanding that it's kind of our obligation, no? I really believe that we have an obligation to humanity, you know, to make this happen, no? And it's not about big words or things like that. It's not about we're going to change the world. No, yes, if we are successful and we will be successful, you know, we're going to change the world. So I would say that resilience, determination, you know, and being optimistic, because only the optimistics are able to do things, you know.
Okay, 3 things. I'll keep that in mind. Okay. And people say that innovation comes from breaking and reinventing the past. Now, speaking of business innovation, what do you think the most important thing to innovate any business for business innovation?
Well, I think that you have to have an open mind, no? In Spain, we say that God gives us 1 mouth and 2 ears, no? So I think that you need to use much more the ears than the mouth. Okay, so you need to not to speak too much and to listen to the people, especially to the technical people. And you need to challenge your team, challenge yourself. If one thing I've learned from our chairman, from Dirk Alborn, is that he's always challenging the team, no? And he's always challenging us, and I'm always challenging the team too. No? So I think that I'd say the philosophy of the 5 whys. No? Why not? No? Why not this? Why not? And when they have tell you 4 reasons why it's not possible, you still ask, you know, why it's not possible. And at the end, sometimes at the 5th one, you know, you arrive to the point that there is an opportunity there to do it. Okay, so I think that basically challenging everything and making a lot of questions and listening a lot.
So going back to the Hyperloop, one question many people have is about its safety, and I believe it's completely safe, right? But are there still challenges that you are trying to solve to ensure its safety?
Okay, if you think about the Hyperloop, Hyperloop by definition is a very safe mode of transportation. And let me elaborate a little bit on that. We're talking about we are traveling in a closed environment. So this closed environment is immune to weather. This closed environment is immune to external interactions. Some of the main factors of accidents today in rail. It's fully automatized, so it's immune to human error. And if you compare also with an airplane, you are in a closed environment and you are in the earth. So if you have problems, you can close the gates. Every 10 kilometers we have valves, you section the tube and you repressurize in seconds. Whether in an airplane, you have to go down to arrive to a breathable environment, okay? So, but in addition to that, also you have one tube going in one direction, other tube going in the other direction. So again, by definition, Hyperloop is very safe. But of course, in addition to that, we have been lucky because we have been building the Hyperloop in the 21st century, and designing the Hyperloop in the 21st century. So we could use all the methods and all the technologies that are available in this century, like structure health monitoring, like sensors integrated, materials with sensors, and all these kind of things that allow you to have a much digital twin, a much safer approach, to the overall structure of the project.
So it sounds really safe and it sounds really cool. When do you think I can expect to ride on the Hyperloop capsule? When will be the time? Yeah.
Okay, so we are working right now. We are finalizing all the funding structure, to be able to start breaking ground in our commercial prototype in around 6 months from now. After that, breaking ground. After that, we will need like 2 years to build it, another 6 months probably for testing and operations and all that. And after that, we will have a 5 kilometers track. Our idea is that in 3 years, 4 years maximum from now, we'll have a commercial prototype of 5 kilometers up and running. And we expect to be moving passengers in that commercial prototype every day. The idea of that commercial prototype is to demonstrate to the world that Hyperloop not only works, but works every day, is efficient, is the levels of availability, the levels of maintenance expectation, and things like that are like we are saying.
Oh, I see. That's not far at all. I guess
No.
I have to plan my next vacation in Dubai.
Yeah, definitely. You need to plan your next vacation, in the place that we are gonna build these 5 kilometers.
Okay, that sounds really cool. So the idea of Hyperloop came from Elon Musk, is that right?
Yeah, well, the idea of Hyperloop has been on the mind of humanity for centuries. The first patent of traveling in a tube was coming from 1908, Robert Goddard, one of the scientists of the Manhattan Project, But definitely Elon Musk had the idea to put it in the spotlight, and he created the white paper, and he said that he had no time to develop it, and he encouraged other companies to do it, and we were the first company to be formed to develop the Hyperloop. But definitely he put the idea on the spotlight, whether the idea was really old, because, humanity has been dreaming on traveling in a tube for more than 1 century.
Okay, I see. And speaking of Elon Musk, he's really expediting the time we need to realize space age and also the future energy era. So as a CEO of high-tech company yourself, how do you think about his approach, his vision, the way that he's running business?
Well, I really admire him. I think that everybody knows what he's doing. He has basically changed. For instance, he has changed, the way that all the automobile industry has thought about the electric car. He has obliged all the automobile industry to jump in the electric car, and he has made a great favor to the whole humanity because of that. But I also admire, the fact that he's a hard worker. No, I read a lot of things about him and about him being in the factory days and night until everything happened. That's the only way to do it. When you have big challenge, you need to do this extra mile, of effort. I know, and this is a message for young people. No, I know that somebody will tell you that do what you like and enjoy life and things like that, but that's not true. Do what you are responsible of doing. That's the way to achieve your goals. And I really admire the way that he really pursued his ideas, his dreams, his way of doing things. And I think that he has done a great contribution, to the industry in general.
You're working on several projects with the Korean businesses as well. So can you tell us a little bit about your project with the Korean businesses?
Yeah, we did an agreement with Korean Institute of Construction of Technology to analyze some of the opportunities, to work. They are experts in construction. They are experts in concrete. We are working with them, analyzing opportunities, in the development of the Hyperloop, and we keep our collaboration going, and that's how we are working in Korea right now. We collaborating with them and analyzing and seeing opportunities. We also had some conversations, but nothing that has been advanced completely, with some possibilities with the government, to analyze these options of Hyperloop in the past. But we don't have a specific project right now, a specific route that we are analyzing right now in Korea. But we are open definitely to do it and to do it more closely and to analyze opportunities there. We believe that Korea has a huge potential. I was talking before about how I admire the people that really are hard workers, and I think that Korean people is hard workers. Really, the word resilience is part of your nature and your DNA, and we are more than happy to continue, analyzing opportunities in Korea in the future.
Today, many business people in Korea are here to listen to you and to get inspiration from you. And they're particularly interested in business innovation in this time of so much high uncertainty. So can you give some advices to audiences in Korea here?
Well, first of all, definitely we are in the middle of kind of a crisis. Well, kind of not a crisis, because on the coronavirus, and we have to remember all the people, that has been suffering because of that. But in every crisis, there is an opportunity. I think that this crisis has opened huge opportunities for other kind of businesses, and and for the traditional business to reinvent themselves. We need to think about where are the opportunities and not seeing only the black side of the things or the bad side of the things. Then I already said before, if you really want to innovation, or at least the only way that I know how to do innovation is coming by radical collaboration. Radical collaboration means understanding, and listening a lot to your employees, to your people, to your organization, creating an environment that encourages them to think differently, to challenge everything, And radical collaboration sometimes also with other companies, other kind of that. Thinking out of the box, and understanding that maybe there are other partners that you have outside of your own company, that you need to put to work together, to help you. So I would say that my advice is that open innovation is, for me, clearly the future. It's not just a word, it's a way of thinking, it's a way of living, and it's something that needs to be promoted drastically in all the companies, starting from a startup to a big corporation,
For audiences who are listening to you today, can you say the final words to them, to the audiences?
Okay, so let me say some final words, to the audience. I think that in life it's important to pursue your dreams. It's important to have a goal. It's important to work hard towards that goal, and that's my bigger advice to everybody that is listening to us. You know, I think that the only way to be happy is working on something that you really like, but that you work hard, you know, to get it. So, you know, that would be my last words and my advice, you know, from a guy that is only trying to do the best. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for your time today. I really wish that your project goes really well in Dubai. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thanks to all of you for having me here. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be with you. Thank you very much.
미래 이동수단 하이퍼루프는 경제성이나 안전성 같이 해결해야 할 문제들이 아직 남아 있습니다. 하지만 이런 문제들에도 불구하고 점점 더 많은 사람들이 이 아이디어에 투자를 하고 기술 개발에 매진하면서 실현 가능성이 점점 높아지고 있는 건 분명해 보입니다. 대전환의 시대, 기업의 혁신은 미래에 대한 상상력에 달려 있다고 볼 수가 있습니다. 그래서 오늘 머스크처럼 생각하기에서는 하이퍼루프를 실현한 기업 HTT의 CEO 안드레스 드 리온을 만나보았습니다. 우리는 자신도 모르게 현재의 규칙이나 관습에 얽매이게 됩니다. 하지만 비즈니스 혁신을 위해서는 현재 당연하게 생각되는 것들을 당연하지 않게 바라보는 일이 필요할지도 모릅니다. 지금부터 우리 모두 현재의 규칙과 관습을 과감히 던져버리고 미래의 새로운 규칙을 만드는 일을 함께 시작하면 좋을 것 같습니다.